welcome to my vlog. So today I'm talking about something important but often overlooked, which is invasive species. You've probably seen them without even realizing it. So what exactly they are? Invasive species are plants or animals that are not originally from this area but were introduced either on purpose or by accident, and they end up causing harm not just to the environment but also to the economy and to the people.
There are three types of species we usually talk about. The first one is native species. These belong here. They've been part of the ecosystem for a long time and live in balance with everything else. Secondly, non-native species. These come from somewhere else, but they don't always cause problems. Sometimes they just live peacefully. And the third one, non-native species that spread aggressively and cause damage. We call it invasive.
Alright, the sun's going down already. I just finished lowering the water level in this pond so I could catch this one. Here's a real example, which is tilapia fish. It's a species commonly farmed for food even in a small ponds like mine. But here's the thing, this fish is actually considered invasive species in Malaysia. If it escapes into river or lakes, it can cause serious problems, which is it outcompetes native species, breeds rapidly, and can seriously disrupt the balance of the ecosystem. So yeah, just because it is useful for farming doesn't mean it is safe for the wild. So please don't release tilapia fish into river, lakes, or streams. Keep them in controlled environment like this in pond. It might seem harmless, but one wrong release can damage native biodiversity. Here we go. You can see the example. And this looks harmless, right? It's Acacia mengium. It was introduced for timber and reforestation, but now it spreads very fast, especially in Sabah and Sarawak, and takes over native plants. If you see this growing in the forest, honestly, cut it down. I know it sounds harsh, but sometimes controlling invasive plants is necessary to protect our native species. Of course, don't just chopping everything. Always be responsible and check with your local forestry officer and environmental groups before you take action. So yeah, invasive species can start small, but they can do a big damage. By understanding them, we can play a part in protecting our environment. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next part of our vlog, where we will talk more about how invasive species threaten our native one.
Hey guys, today I want to talk about something really important. It's about how invasive species can harm the environment, especially by affecting native species. My name is Azura Natasha binti Muhammad. Let's look at 5 main points they have. First and foremost is they compete for food and space. Invasive species often take over the space where native species live. They eat the same food, use the same water, even grow faster. Because of that, native animals and plants don't get enough to survive. For example, when invasive species is introduced into a river, it can outcompete local fish. The native fish don't get enough food and slowly disappear. So the invader doesn't just live there, it takes over it. Second is they hunt for native animal. Some invasive animals actually hunt and eat native species. The problem is local animals don't know how to protect themselves because they have never faced this new predator before. For example, a large frog that's not from the area might eat a small native frog, insect, or even a baby fish. The native species can run or hide fast enough, and their numbers start to drop. Third, they spread disease. Invasive species can bring a new disease that local species have never seen before. Even if the invader looks healthy, it might be carrying bacteria, viruses, or even a parasite. Native animals have no immunity, so they get sick easily and sometimes die in a large number. This is really dangerous because it can affect not just one species but many. Fourth, they destroy habitats. Invasive species can physically damage the places where native species live. Some plants grow so fast that they block sunlight or choke the river. Some animals dig or trample on areas that were once safe home for others. For example, invasive pigs can tear up the forest for searching for food. These leave birds and small mammals without shelter. Once the habitat is gone, native species can survive. And last but not least, they affect humans too. Finally, invasive species don't just hurt the environment, they hurt people too. They can damage crops, spread disease to humans or pets, and even block rivers or roads. For instance, invasive plants may take over farmland, making it harder for farmers to grow food. Or certain insects may carry illness to spread to people. So this is just not a nature problem, it's our problem too. So invasive species not just join the environment, they change it, and usually not in a good way. They take food, harm local animals, spread disease, damage habitats, and even affect us directly. That's why we need to be careful about what we bring into a new place. Even a small species can cause a big problem. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped you understand the full impact invasive species will have. Bye!
Invasive species are the unwanted pests. They don't just reduce biodiversity, but they can collapse entire ecosystem. You guys probably wondered, how do these unwanted pests arrive? It's probably because of our human activity or natural expansion, which is climate change. Let's start by human activity. There are a lot of human activity that can lead these unwanted gas to arrive. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you the 5 human activity that can lead this unwanted gas to arrive. Let's think of the men's global trade. For example, products, packaging, even salt clinging to import goods can harbor seeds, spores, or insect that hits a ride across the continents. Second one is tourism. Imagine when we're traveling, we can accidentally bring the new plants or animal to different places. And the second one, our trips around the world can accidentally introduce foreign species. Shipping is one of the biggest culprits in aquatic invasion of this shipping. It's taken on in one part and discharged in another. It also can carry 1,000 of marine organisms, for example from microscopic plankton to fish larvae. I believe that a lot of people have been with catfish, which is the exotic catfish. What's fascinating is it can lead to devastating consequences when unwanted pets are released into the wild. Let's go to the last part, which is agriculture. The intentional introduction of native crops. The intentional introduction of native crops or livestock can sometimes lead to escape or introduction of associated pests or disease that then impact native flora and fauna. Another reason how this unwanted gas arrive, which is the causes of natural expansion, or we know as climate change. Climate change enabling species to expand a new area. This natural expansion is supercharged by a climate change and it opened door for new inventions. For example, warmer water allow tropical marine species to extend their range further north, impacting temperature ecosystem. That's all from me today.
Invasive species, some of them are unique, small, but actually they are not from here, and they actually can give a damage on our ecology system. Hi, my name is Najamila Jalal. Today we're gonna talk about how to prevent this invasive species. Prevention. We're gonna use the golden apple snail as an example. There are two ways of prevention, which is first is bird check and second is public awareness. For the check, it can help to stop the similar introduction of invasive species. Public awareness, it can help the farmers to recognize and can report about the invasive species to the invasive threat early, so we can stop invasive species immediately. The second is control method. Usually farmers use a lot of technique, but we're gonna talk about two control method, which is the first one is manual removal, which is they collect all of the snails and the egg, the pink egg, and they scratch it by hands. Second is biological technique, which is they put or they introducing animal, which is the duck, to eat the snails. And the lastly is community role, which is citizen science. They have a knowledge about the invasive species, so they can see and can report about the spread of invasive species. And it's important not to release pets or unwanted species to the wild, because it can damage our ecology system without our realize. Farmers and students and kids can actually become heroes if they stay alert. So guys, let's save our world. Bye!